Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pokemon Crystal, where we are playing Ecruteak City. Goodness gracious. This is turn 44. Is this the last turn? It's the last turn! Pew, 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 pew. Look at that victory screen. Hell yeah. Alright, that's the video. We'll see you next time. Bye. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so this is the last turn. Let's go through everything that happens, see what efforts the enemy has made to thwart us, see if any of those efforts were close, and then we'll do a little bit of a recap, a post-mortem kind of on the city itself, on Ecruteak, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. I'll throw out some numbers for like my list, the recruitment list. I'll probably put that down in the doobly-doo, all of the, you know, how many of X, Y, and Z did I recruit, that whole thing. And we'll go from there. So that'll be pretty cool. Alright, so to kick things off, Casper, the Watcher of the Gallows, Warrior of the Sun, has claimed the throne of bureaucracy. Woo-hoo. We cast some reanimation, blah, 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 whatever. An enemy spy tried to infiltrate the capital, but was discovered. And we've got some battles. So these are the cool things, right? Let's see what got thrown against us. We have a battle in the Waywoods. Okay, Azalea, ooh, shit. So, Azalea has sent a number of different things against us. Unfortunately, they were not able to muster enough to really, like bring a full army, so they're throwing as many mages as they can in, teleporting a whole bunch of stuff in, basically. And this is against probably one of our biggest armies. A lot of undead chaff, a fair sizable PD of Rhyhorns. We've got some devils in here. We've got all of our Gastlys and everything. We've got a pretty large communion in here. So we'll see how this all goes down. But we're going to focus more on what Azalea City has to offer, right? So they've sent in a number of Butterfrees. Some of them with some fucking gear. So let's take a look at what some of these are. We've got choice specs, so some magic penetration. And this one has a bunch of earth gems. Interesting. We've got leftovers, so regeneration, and TM62. And this is just a general mass buff TM, which is pretty cool. Does give a silver wind attack. That's pretty neat. It's this one right here. Got another one with TM76, which is nature magic, reinvigoration, hit points, and gives struggle bug, which is that's cool. There's a whole shit ton of nature gems. We should see some big nature magic out of that one. And then this one is kind of the astral version. Got a crystal coin, got a starshine skullcap, has a choice scarf, and an eye of the void for more penetration. This one has a lot of pen. Well, I guess not that much. It's just +2, right? If he had like per se the, I guess he needed the, so yeah, the TMs are helmets. I forget about that. So he needed the Starshine Skullcap helmet there. So, all right, cool. So those are the Butterfrees, and then the twins are actually one of my favorite mages in the Azalea City. Is one of my favorite cities, maybe my favorite city. You guys know I love nature. Mixing in death and astral into a nature nation is just like, I love it. It's so cool. The twins are really interesting. They've got very cool path access. We've got a Death Staff. Or Skull Staff, Boots of the Messenger, Skull Staff, Boots of the Messenger. So I'm assuming a bunch of Horde of Skeleton spam going to come out of these gals. We've got a Gem Leader, Bugsy the Gem Leader with Earth Boots, whole bunch of Earth Gems. We've got this Lugia. Lugia's do. What is it? What is it that they do? Do. So they do storm at the beginning of every battle. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Whole bunch of air gems, Starshine Skullcap, Girdle of Might, and then he's got these black servants kind of like out front, you know, just cuz. All right, let's see what happens. So Natural Storm goes up. I'm actually going to focus down on these because I want to see what spells they cast. Okay, so we get Storm Power, Earth Power, Eagle Eyes, Power the Spheres, Ravenous Swarm, that's definitely a good one. What just happened? Did that, I think this one got deleted. I'm gonna check the unit log. One of them just, like, is gone. One of them's just gone. I don't know why she's just gone, but she's just gone. For Dominion 6, having a more customizable unit overview, having, for example, a unit overview of my army and their army, right? So I can look through my army as unit view, you can look through their army as unit view, being able to parse it out on, like, commanders. I just want to look at commanders, I just want to look at units, right? I just want to look at, give us tag options. I just want to look at undead, right? I just want to look at elementals or what have you. I just want to look at demons. Giving us the ability to kind of like customize the unit overview or search through the unit overview, use drop downs, those types of things. That would be pretty frickin' dope. I don't know what happened to that twin. That twin just like eased out. Okay, so we got Ravenous Swarm up. That's pretty cool. Holy shit. So that's a big, that's a pretty decent sized Phantasmal Warrior. We actually Thunderstrike. That's our own Thunderstrike. Ooh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I just don't think they're going to get enough chaff out in time. Oh, no. Another one of the twins is already dead. They're trying. They're trying to get a whole bunch out. He's getting a whole bunch of, like, swarm spam going. Oh, but these Rhyhorns are destroying the Phantasmal Warriors because they're just trampling them and insta-killing them with a trample hit. Oh, and now the Lugia is surrounded. And he doesn't have regeneration. Oh, he does have regeneration. Okay. That's good, at least. Okay. The Lugia is still up. The Bugsy is still up. Winds of Memory. Oh, they're just resorting to, like, smites now, basically trying to kill my undead. That's not going to work out for them. They're getting put to sleep by my Gastlys. Now we got Devils in the back. These Devils absolutely can hit hard enough to kill people. I think one is already routed. Bugsy's down. They're routed out. No. Alright, that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Azalea City has been routed. Good showing, good showing. Everything died. The Butterfree Champions killed a bunch of Long Dead, at the very least. We actually lost one of our Gastly Champions. Oh no. You know? That's unfortunate. We lost a couple of Gastlys, we lost a Haunter, we lost about half of our Long Deads. We lost all of our Springhawks, one of our Whites. We lost a fair amount considering what we were up against. 820 units versus 12. This is one of the reasons, right? Like I was terrified of Azalea City throughout the entirety of this this game. It's absolutely, if Azalea ever turned their attention to us, they would have been able to wipe us off the map super easily. They had the magic weapons to be able to hit us consistently. They have the right magic paths in order to create chaff to hold us up, so they can send, like, if this was an army with twice the amount of mages and 200 infantry, they probably could have beat us, actually, because they have the right mages to do things like Horde of Skeleton spam, to do things like Phantasmal Warriors, or things like Swarm to kind of like flood the field and out attrition us, right? Because then they can turn around and do things like mass Winds of Memory and just cheese grate through our undead. So that would have been really, really painful. Fortunately, we were very sneaky, and we got away with it. Next up, a battle in Forest of Idun. Go and see what happens here. So this is the other part of that army, right? Like, if they'd had these Arcanines, if they'd had these kind of Shield Cadabras, some of these Ariadoses, right? Absolutely would have been able to kind of like come in and fuck with us. This is just against a little bit of PD, so I anticipate, yeah, they've already destroyed our Spiro PD. They're gonna surround these, because the Arcanines have magic attacks, right? They've got this flamethrower. They should be able to, well, I say that, they should be able to do it, but they're not using the flamethrower. They're getting in and trying to use their melee hit. So they're actually not killing any of the Gastlys, funnily enough. The same with the Ariadoses, right? I feel like they have definitely not used their Psychic, and their Psychic should be killing a Gastly every single time they use the Psychic. That's interesting that they weren't set to fire. Still, I mean, we killed 6 Arcanines. That's not bad. Our undefended province in Sleepy Mountains was taken. So basically, they just moved on top of Sleepy Mountains. But they can't crack the fort in a single turn. We had a battle in Saren where we were attacked by Olivine City. So this is just them raiding. They just couldn't get to the places that they need to with concerted forces in time to deal with the throne rush, basically. We've got a whole bunch of Squirtles out here, a whole bunch of Remoraid's. Remoraid's, I think, are actually kind of cool. I'd be interested to see the upgraded Remoraid's. Is it not Corsolas? No, what's the... Boo Boo! What's the evolution of Remoraid? I don't remember. We're looking it up. Remoraid. It evolves to Octillery. Oh! Remoraid evolves into the octopus one. I didn't realize that. Why would a fish evolve into an octopus? Yeah, that's weird. Shows you my Pokemon knowledge. So I think the Remoraids are pretty interesting. I don't know if we've seen any Octilleries. It's been too long. Anyways, so this is they're probably gonna be able to smash through my PD relatively easily. We've got a couple of Tangulas here, a couple of Farfetcheds. Nothing super special happening here. Yeah, those Remoraids are able to just like laser down my Gastlys. And the Squirtle horde. Man, I love this mod. I'm so sad. So I'm actually recording this a little bit after the end of this game. I'm so sad I wasn't able to join the next Pokemon, the Fire Red game. I could have, but I already have several games going, and I felt it was a bad decision to jump into another one at that point. Because, you know, my turns are taking longer and longer because the games are going later and later, and I'm already having to ask for more and more extensions in those games, and I hate being that type of player, so I'm trying to not overload myself. So I thought it was a better decision to not join that game, but I'm really sad that I didn't, because I love this mod. I definitely think I want to join, if there's another multiplayer after Fire Red, I really want to join that one, because this mod's just fucking dope. I love it. Anyways, so that was Battle in CERN. We're also attacked by Azalea in Second Forest, so let's see how that is. Alright, so another group of Arcanines. Again, if we had to face this large amount of Arcanines and Shield Kadabras and Ariadoses in Waywoods or wherever, then I think we probably would have gotten fucked. Though, I do have to say, like, the Arcanines being on attack is really a disservice compared to what they should be doing, because they absolutely could just be... I think we're gonna win this, actually, because they're not attacking, or because they're not using their magic weapons. We're kind of messing them up. That's really interesting. Like, they really needed to be on Flamethrower instead. And these guys are on ranged attacks, sure. But I don't know, it might be too little too late. Maybe they got us, who knows? Because we're not really killing these pincers. I don't know that we can kill these pincers. Oh yeah, we killed him. Okay, they win. They win. There we go. See, the Ariadoses and the Shield Kadabras, as once they started, I don't know why. Maybe the Ariadoses were running up because when you have them on a ranged attack, they want to do string shot as well, so they run up to get in range of string shot. I think that's dumb, though. I don't know if the AI differentiates between that type of stuff, but they absolutely should have just been in the back going psychic, 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 because every single one would have been killing Gastly. And the AI should know that. The AI should be programmed to do that type of stuff. Should take advantage of that type of stuff. So we do lose in Second Forest, but you know, it's just some raiding, nothing to be had there, and that's just PD. So, we've got a battle. We're attacked in Vertlin, but just another raid. Basically, we got some War Turtles in this one, some Scissors. They're gonna destroy this group. We got some Flaffies. Very cool. Easy peasy. They didn't lose anything. A couple of unexpected events. We lost a whole bunch of unrest in Arcadis, and we got a High Priest. We gained some unrest in Felicia. Morty, the gym leader, has foreseen a major event. There's a death match coming in 3 turns. And we're under siege in a number of places, but the enemy can't harm us in Sleepy Mountains, and in Second Forest, our walls are damaged. That's the one that we lost here, right? We patrolled out in Waywoods and Arcadis, and we got some promotions, and then we got victory. Okay, so this is what the final look of the game is. Azalea City was massive. Olivine City was also pretty massive. We were pretty small, truth be told. Viridian City, you know, never really got to expand outside of their borders, but they did defend their borders fairly well, right? They defended themselves from Mahogany City, who still has two provinces. Interesting. But honestly, I think Azalea was just super poised to destroy this game. They had their own capital, they had Vermilion City, they had just conquered Pewter City. I think had the game continued for another 10 turns, they easily would have taken the game. We, I think, timed our throne rush at the perfect time. And honestly, I don't think we absolutely shouldn't have won. We got very lucky, right? We got kind of overlooked. Azalea should have attacked us earlier on in the game. Thank God they didn't, because we would have gotten destroyed. But we also got very, very lucky just with throne placement, right? Having the right amount of thrones in our normal area, right? Having the throne in Arcadas, the throne in Waywoods, right? Picking up and we had some good throne placements, but also Cyanwood City had some good throne placements. So getting lucky with their thrones and taking their thrones, and then honestly just getting lucky with Cyanwood kind of like just rolling over for us, right? You saw how much trouble we had against their god, against their Aerodactyls. Had Cyanwood been hitting every single turn and really been fighting against us, we probably would have lost against Cyanwood, right? So that brings me kind of to the post-mortem of the nation of Ecruteak City. I think it's a very interesting, and I'm going to get a lot of backlash. I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash on some of the ideas that I have here, right? I think Cyanwood City is a very interesting nation, but I think Ecruteak City is a very interesting nation, but I think they are spread too far out. They've got, like many of the other Pokemon nations, they've got too many things going on for them. I've kind of covered a lot of this in the nation overview video, but having like their for example, having their channelers, right? Having their channelers have all these different effects is just kind of over the top. Having their red sage, blue sage, although I have found out later on, this really needs to be added into the description, right? Apparently the sages cast things like Power of the Sepulchre and stuff like that. Someone might need to verify that for me, but that's it's right here. Starts every battle by reciting prayers of power for them. Starts every battle by reciting prayers of protection for them. Aha. Oh. Okay, so I just needed to read some shit a little bit more clearly. Good to know, right? So there are reasons for these to exist. I just never realized it. I am, and this isn't a complaint against the mod. This is a complaint that I have against Dominions and how it is set up in general. There's some great, cool, awesome lore in Dominions. I love it. It's really fun. It's probably the thing that gets me to play the game the most, because I get really invested in the nation, like whatever, right? Like I get invested in the connection that it has to real world mythos, or like in this mod, I get invested in the connection that it has to the games, etc. And I find that really cool. But I hate how this game, Dominions as a whole, not just this mod, buries the lead on mechanics. Just like, give me the lore, but show me the mechanics. Like, below weapons or below this stuff, have like a special abilities tab. It says, boom, cast like on Lugia, right? It just says start a battle, storm, right? Like, and sure, a lot of that information is in the descriptions, but let's be honest, y'all. When you've got 50 different units that have descriptions, and you've got enemies with descriptions, and you've got items with descriptions, and you've got spells with descriptions, etc., etc. That's so much to read through constantly, and when you only have so much time, right? I want to take my lore in chunks, but when you mix my lore with mechanics, it becomes mind-numbing. So I start to gloss over things, right? Show mechanics out now. Right? Be like, this is very clearly, boom, 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 these mechanics, these special abilities. But anyways, Ecruteak City is really cool. I do think they are underpowered. Because they have a mixture, they're kind of in the vein of Asphodel, for example, right? Because they have a mixture, they want to be a death nation, and I know other people are going to argue with me on, well, they don't have to be death. If you want to free spawn units at a higher rate, you need Death 3, okay? So, yes, we've been Death 3 this entire time in our capital, and we've actually grown slightly, I think. Or did we start at 30k? I don't remember, right? It hasn't been a great effect on our capital, but it is a decent effect on our other lands. Our other lands are pretty Deathfield. Our Dominion does kill our population. It is very slow, yes, but it counteracts the growth of the game, okay? You are going, even if you take order and productivity, you are going to have less money throughout the game compared to other people. You are going to be able to recruit fewer mages compared to other people. Asphodel has that kind of same scenario where it is a pop kill, free spawn nation, but it wants to recruit mages with gold. And it eventually, I've played a lot of Asphodel, and it eventually hits that point around turn 60 or 70 where it's all but impossible to keep pace depending on a lot of different factors, honestly, but generally speaking, it's just like you're gonna reach this point where hope you're doing really good and you've got a lot of gem income to just rely on other things, because you're gonna have very, very paltry amounts of actual income for the rest of the game. There's not much you can do about it. Ecruteak City has that same type of scenario going on, even if, and I know I'm gonna get flack for this, but I'm gonna say it, even if you go scales, right? If you go order and productivity, if you don't take death, you're not going to have the free spawn that you need to compete. I could see a build that goes like full scales, goes order, goes productivity, goes growth even, right? And has significantly less free spawn and then relies on the summon stuff. Right? You could potentially pull that off, but I still think, so that's one scenario. I still think there's a glaring issue with, or a couple of glaring issues with the nation itself that would make you likely to lose anyways. And that is that Gastlys just aren't that good, right? They kill themselves a lot. That is probably the biggest weakness, is that they just kill the shit out of themselves, right? We ran into that over and over and over and over again. You kill the shit out of yourself. And if you have a smart enemy that is bringing magic weapons, or that is, like, take the Aerodactyls, right? Had magic weapons, or had a magical attack, and was highly resistant. 10 of those would slaughter hundreds of Gastlys, and the Gastlys would be slaughtering themselves while fighting them. Or if you fight a relatively competitive-sized army that has magical attacks, you're going to get slaughtered because they're going to be killing you every single time they attack, and you're going to be killing yourself. So that's a huge weakness, a massive weakness for the nation. Adding that in to scenarios like Gastlys causing unrest, where now not only do you have to deal with the fact that they're very easily killed and you're having to go death if you want to free spawn a whole bunch of them, now you have the Oni pit scenario where you have to create these places where you're basically going to nuke down the unrest, or nuke up the unrest. But here's another scenario: you can use this on enemies, and it's really toxic. It should not exist. The cause unrest, I think, already has gone, but if it hasn't, it needs to go. I'm pretty sure it has already gone. And I'm pretty sure the death power needs to go, and also has already gone, because it basically makes it impossible, or all but impossible, to fight outside of your dominion, right? Which is another scenario of why you can't go growth, is with the death power. But again, I think that's already been changed, so take that with a grain of salt. Other than that, I think other than, the crazy amount of things and me not liking Insanity, which is fine. If I don't like Insanity, that's okay. I think most of the things that I've covered in the nation overview still apply. The big things being death power and unrest, and the fact that the Gastlys just murder themselves, right? Those are the three big issues for the nation. And I think at least 2 out of 3 of those have been addressed in the mod already. So that's pretty much it. Let's talk real quick. I'm just going to go cursory over what I recruited. So I got 2 of the blue channelers, right? I ended up getting 4 actual mediums, right? I ended up getting 11 of the white channelers, 40 Kimono Women. That's a lot of Kimono Women. This is a 44 turn game. That's almost a Kimono Woman per turn. These have been incredibly valuable. Leading units around, having 80 undead leadership, being very, very cheap scouts. These have been phenomenal. This is a fantastic unit. We've gotten 14 junior trainer boys. I've talked about this a lot in the nation overview, but notice I have 0 junior trainer girls just because the water option versus the air option is significantly weaker, right? It's not that it shouldn't exist. That's fine, right? It's just way weaker comparatively. I only got 1 red channeler. Kind of whatever. I ended up getting 22 schoolgirls because the schoolgirls, at least in my opinion, are just so significantly better compared to the channelers. Significantly reduced cost, right, in gold price. Less upkeep cost, even though the channelers are sacred, right? Obviously, the channelers have more paths. They're going to be better for communions overall because they have more paths. And they're auto-communion slaves. But they have issues like Berserker 6 and Insanity, right? So for me, the ease of use, the simplicity, and the cheapness of the schoolgirls has just kind of like made them significantly better than the channelers, right? We ended up getting 1 great medium. I think you can only get in the capital. No, you can get great mediums elsewhere. Yeah, great mediums elsewhere, but I just didn't really have a need for them. They're good if you want to get into the whole Inquisitor scenario, but kind of whatever. And this is funny because I normally really love Defense Organizer, and I did not get into using the mediums for Defense Organizer. Ended up getting 1 Kimono Girl. We got Kimono Women. Actually, we didn't buy this one or recruit this one. This was the Kimono Girl that we started with, the scout that we started with. We ended up getting 1 great channeler that we never really used, though I think they are useful for their being a communion master. We just never got to that. I think we would have eventually later on in the game. But again, they run into the same issues as the channelers, the Berserk, and the Insanity. We ended up getting 2 of the Cooltrainers. These guys are super powerful. It's just they're very expensive and they have high recruitment costs. And we ended up getting 7 Gastly Champions via our... What is it? Via our Thaumaturgy. Which I think the Gastly Champions and being able to twice spawn the junior trainer boys is amazing. So that's awesome. Did a lot of work with them. And we got, the only other things that we really got were the Morty, our gym leader that we lucked into, and then Veteran Trainer 1. Which were really cool. So I still think luck on this nation, like luck 3, not luck as a bless, but luck 3, is really, really strong because they have really good stuff. Even though we didn't get a whole lot of like veterans or anything like that, I still think it's worthwhile. This has been a fun game. I'm very surprised that we lucked out the win. Especially considering all the dumb shit that I did throughout this game. And how every time I play a game in Dominions, I learn more and more and more and more. And then I forget a whole lot, basically, how that happens. So, I had a blast with this. Very surprised we won. Very excited that we won. Was fun. And that's going to be the end of this this series. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.